Hi everybody, this is Judy at Judy in the Kitchen. We're talking about reducing salt intake, and today we're covering dietary sodium recommendations. I want you to bear in mind that the body needs very, very little sodium in order to function properly. And it's somewhere around 500 milligrams. It might even be a little bit less than that for some people. But 500 milligrams of sodium is painfully small. And it's the amount that we can easily get if we focus on eating whole, fresh foods that are unadulterated. It could be fruits, vegetables, meats, legumes, nuts, seeds, beans, grains, any food that's unprocessed and unadulterated and that you did not add any salt to it. It's in its natural form. It doesn't have to be raw, but just unsalted and unprocessed with added salt. Americans consume an average of 3,400 milligrams a day. Now, compare that to the 500 milligrams that we actually need to function properly. 3,400 milligrams, that's a lot. That's roughly equivalent to a teaspoon and a half of salt. Now, that doesn't sound like very much salt, teaspoon and a half, but that goes to tell you that it's potent. It's got a lot of sodium, about 40% sodium in the salt, and we really can live without it. Now, we might want it because we're used to the flavor of it, but we don't need it. Now, while the American Heart Association recommends that we consume no more than 2,300 milligrams a day, that's about a teaspoon of salt. So on average, we're eating a teaspoon and a half of salt. It's suggested we eat no more than a teaspoon of salt. Ideally, we should consume no more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium in a day, and that's a little less than 2/3 of a teaspoon. I know I'm throwing a lot of numbers your way, trying to get you to realize that we're eating a lot more salt than the body needs. We really need no salt whatsoever. Okay, no salt whatsoever. We've become accustomed to it. We develop a taste for it. Salt is a flavor enhancer, so yes, it can make your food taste good, but it doesn't mean that it's doing your body good. Now, to help you out in your endeavors to hopefully try to reduce your intake of sodium and salt, bear in mind that the processed foods, manufactured foods, brined, pre-flavored foods are all going to be high in salt, unless it labels that it's a salt-free or low salt, low sodium variety. The average food, especially in America, is loaded with salt, and physiologically we don't need any of it. Now, to give you some frame of reference, here are some approximate amounts of sodium that are in given amounts of table salt, just to help you out. 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt has 575 milligrams of sodium. If you're eating plenty of fruits and vegetables and whole foods in their natural form, that's 575 milligrams more than what the body needs. 1/2 a teaspoon of salt, 1,150 milligrams. 3/4 teaspoon of salt, 1,725 milligrams. 1 teaspoon, 2,300 milligrams. Now, if you're used to buying pre-packaged, pre-made, prepared foods in some way, even canned, boxed, frozen, whatever, you might see some terms on there, and we're going to identify those terms and tell you precisely what they mean, and hopefully this will help you out when you're shopping. Something that's labeled as salt or sodium-free means that there's less than 5 milligrams of sodium per serving. You can't go wrong with that one. Very low sodium means 35 milligrams or less per serving. Not bad choice. Low sodium, 140 milligrams or less per serving. That's still beginning to get up there. Reduced sodium, at least 25% less sodium per serving than the usual full-flavored amount. That sounds good, but you still may be getting an overload of sodium in your one serving of whatever that food is. So beware on that one. Read your labels carefully. If it says it's light in sodium or lightly salted, there's at least 50% less sodium than the regular product. That helps. If it says no salt added or unsalted, there was no salt added during the processing, but these products may not be salt or sodium free, you need to check the label. It may have some sodium that's naturally occurring in that particular food. And hey, that may be no problem whatsoever. It depends on your health and your needs, so you can talk with your doctor about what's right for you. But hopefully these terms will help you out when you're shopping. I do hope this helps. Take care, and bye for now.